So today we are going to see the muscle quadriceps femoris. The quadriceps femoris muscle is so named because it consists of the four parts: the rectus femoris, the vastus lateralis, the vastus medialis and the vastus intermedius. Now we are going to see the muscle rectus femoris. The rectus femoris is a long straight muscle with fusiform bipinnate belly in the upper two-thirds and flat tendon in the lower one-third. To speak about origin, rectus femoris arises from the two heads: the straight head, which arises from the upper part of the anterior inferior iliac spine, and the reflected head, which arises above the groove on the acetabulum. Now for the insertion, the two heads meet at an acute angle and the muscle ends in a flat tendon which descends vertically downward to be inserted into the base of patella. Now we are going to see the muscle vastus lateralis. The vastus lateralis originates from the upper part of the intertrochanteric line, anterior and inferior borders of the greater trochanter, lateral lip of gluteal tuberosity and the upper half of lateral lip of linea aspera. Now for the insertion, the vastus lateralis is inserted on the lateral part of the base of patella and upper one-third of the lateral border of patella. Now we are going to see the muscle vastus medialis. The vastus medialis covers the medial surface of the shaft of femur. It originates from the lower part of intertrochanteric line, the spiral line, the medial lip of linea aspera and the upper two-thirds of medial supracondylar line. Now for the insertion, it is inserted on the medial part of base of patella and upper two-thirds of the medial borders of patella. Now we are going to see the vastus intermedius. The vastus intermedius originates from the anterior and lateral aspects of the upper three-fourths of the shaft of femur. Now for insertion, it is inserted into the base of the patella deep to the tendon of rectus femoris. Now we are going to see the nerve supply of quadriceps femoris muscle. The muscles of quadriceps femoris are supplied by the posterior division of the femoral nerve. Going forward, we must emphasize on the fact that the rectus femoris is the only muscle of quadriceps femoris to cross two joints, that is hip joint and the knee joint. Thus it is a flexor at hip joint and extensor at knee joint, whereas all the muscles of the quadriceps femoris, that is vastus lateralis, vastus medialis and vastus intermedius, are the powerful extensors of the knee joint. As mentioned earlier, for the rectus femoris, its action is similar to the kicking of the ball. Thus, it is also known as the kicking muscle, causing flexion at the hip and extension at the knee joint. As observed, the lower fibers of vastus medialis are attached far more down on the medial border of patella than those of the vastus lateralis on the lateral border. Due to this, they prevent the patella from dislocating laterally during the extension of the knee joint, and thus it is important for the stability of the patella.